Good afternoon friends. Today we will see the second topic, that is nothing but a accelerometer. So acceleration is nothing but we can say as a vector quantity which having both direction and magnitude, and it is defined at the rate at which the velocity changes with respect to time. It is measure how the fast the speed of an object can be changed. So that accelerometer, that is nothing but used in a mechanical devices. So it is a sensor that is used to measure acceleration of a object. In case of a static acceleration, the device is mainly used to find the degrees at which the object is tilted with respect to the ground. So some material possess a specific property, we call this as a piezoelectricity. This material generates electrostatic charges or voltage when mechanical stresses or pressure is applied. Material exhibiting this property we call as a piezoelectric material. So this is nothing but one piezoelectric accelerometer. So that is nothing, this is a construction of piezoelectric accelerometer that consists of piezoelectric element that we apply to magnetic mass that will produce output voltage that we apply to amplifier. Amplifies the signal and that we apply to processor, and after that processor we can display output on one display, that is a digital display. So most commonly used type of this piezoelectric accelerometer, as the name suggests, it uses the principle of piezoelectric effect. Its construction is shown in figure. It consists of one piezoelectric quartz crystal on which accelerative force whose value is to be measured is applied. Due to the special self-generating property, the crystal produces a voltage that is proportional to the accelerative force. This voltage can be amplified and proceed to calibrate in terms of a calibration. This type of accelerometer is mainly used in industrial applications. There are different applications of this. So first one is nothing but a machine. When we have to monitor a different machine in industry, at that time we use this. After that, suppose we have to measure the earthquake activity and aftershocks. Then use in India international navigation system for measuring the position, orientation and velocity of an object in a motion without the use of any external references. Then use in a airbag shooting in cars and vehicle stability control. Then use also in a video game such as PlayStation 3 as to make the steering more controlled, nature and real. Use in a camcorder to make image stable. So suppose a question asked like this, explain accelerometer or explain piezoelectric accelerometer. You have to draw this particular diagram and you have to explain. Means what is the purpose of piezoelectric, that due to self-generating it will produce a voltage, and that voltage we apply to amplify this, then it will apply to processor proceed in terms of a calibration, and then we display particular acceleration on display board. And different applications such as machine, earthquake, in the international navigation system, video games, then also using a camcorder. Then after that the next topic is the sensor, temperature sensor, or we can also called as a temperature transducer. So this is also important, temperature sensor. There are different types of temperature sensor that are used for to sense temperature. So when body is heated or cooled, various effect of heating or cooling can be observed. That is nothing but change in the physical or chemical state, change in physical dimension, change in electrical properties, generation of an EMF at the junction of dissimilar metals, change in the intensity of total radiation emitted. So this temperature detector use any one of this variation to detect a change in temperature. So there are different types of, we can say as a temperature sensor, that are nothing but first one is the RTD, that is a resistive temperature or resistance type temperature sensor. Then next one is the thermistor, also another one is the thermocouple. So first one is the RTD. RTD is defined as a temperature sensor in which the resistance changes in proportion with the temperature. Question also asked like this, explain different types of temperature sensor or any one temperature sensor. So RTD is nothing but temperature sensor whose resistance changes in proportion with temperature. Principle of operation of this is nothing but based on resistance of a substance like a metal and semiconductor changes with the change in temperature. So the long form is nothing but resistance temperature detector. This having, we can say, positive temperature coefficient, that is nothing but resistance increases with increase in temperature. However, some material have negative temperature coefficient. Relation between resistance of a sensor and temperature is given by RT is equal to R01 plus AT plus BT square, where A and B are the constant and value of A and B is different for different values. RT is nothing but resistance of sensor at temperature, and R0 is nothing but resistance of temperature at R0. So this resistance type temperature sensor are again classified in two types. First one is the platinum resistance temperature and second one is the thermistor. So first platinum PRT, that we called as a PRT, and second one is thermistor, that are both two are the positive temperature coefficient, that is resistance of a metal increases with increase in a temperature. So that two topics, particular PRT and thermistor, that we will see in the next lecture.